Hey, what's going on, guys? Sorry for yet again the lack of updates. I was really hoping to have done more in the last 2 months. I didn't realize it had been like 2 months since I did that last update for you guys. And so now I've actually got a couple reasons to give you an update, and so I'll let you also know what I've been up to for the last couple months. So hopefully, happy 4th of July. I am recording this obviously a day or so beforehand, but hopefully I'll have it posted for you by the 4th. Everybody be careful out there. I will. I'm gonna be changing my. I don't want to say changing my channel around because this is my damn channel. I'll do whatever the hell I want with it. Obviously, it's been focused on my Boxster, but I'm gonna just start posting more random stuff that I like because I've had a lot more time on my hands lately, and I'm gonna give you guys hopefully an update on my 4th of July celebration. I'm a bit of a pyro. I'm a little bit crazy if you guys haven't noticed. I'm not just crazy when it comes to cars. Other aspects of my life, pretty much all aspects of my life. I'm borderline on my way to an institution, I'm sure. So anyway, I spent a lot of money last year on fireworks just because I wanted to. I found that you could buy fireworks online wholesale, and so I bought a whole bunch. People loved it. People threw in more money this year. It's even a bigger celebration. So I'm gonna hopefully give you a little bit of a video of that as well. I'm gonna go where I've got the display set up, or going to be having the display set up, and show you what's going on with that. But basically, it's almost like 9 grand in retail price of fireworks. I only spent like 2 grand, so I'm not quite that crazy, but still, it's a lot of fireworks and it's going to be a lot of fun. Other thing I've done recently to the car is I got some new stereo stuff. I haven't bought stereo stuff in years, and my buddies at the stereo shop hooked me up. I just said, give me something that sounds good, and they recommended that stuff. So it's just front speakers and a head unit and an amplifier, but it's all pretty awesome. It sounds great. It hooks up with the Bluetooth on my new phone, which I'm recording from my new phone. It's not going to make me any prettier, but hopefully it'll make the videos better looking. Even though the car is kind of dirty right now, you can see the dirt on the car much more clearly. Yeah, so I got a new phone, and it's instead of I had an iPhone 4, which is what all my other videos have been recorded with, and now this is an iPhone 7, and hopefully everything will sound and look a lot better, and the next video, hopefully this thing will be running again. But right now it is not. The reason for that is basically, I'll call it kind of poor design. Renegade supplied this manifold and the fittings and whatnot for, with the kit. And I had my doubts about it initially anyway, because they're like, hey, just glue these fittings in with this Permatex goo stuff, and I was like, that's not really the best way to do it, and it really, really should have fittings that seal properly, AN fittings, or what I'm going to do this time is probably just clean all that crap up and have things welded up, because this is just blocked off at the top and bottom on one side or the other with, I think that's a 1 1/4 inch fitting and a 1 inch fitting on the other side there. So I'm just going to have fittings properly welded on there, because I had a little bit of an issue with these in the past. I think it was this other side actually where it was causing a little bit of a leak, but I was able to put more goo on it. This one seems to be a little bit more of a severe leak, and it was kind of just coming out of a pinhole right in between there somewhere, so it's just sneaking by all the threads, by all the goo, and you can see the residue it was causing coming down there. And you guys can probably see this a little bit better in this now too. This was ground into from the shifter cables. I've since kind of relocated them, but somebody, I don't know who that was, that pointed it out to me at the car show one time, but I appreciate that. But it dug a couple grooves in there, so I know the back side of my shifter cable, I don't think we'll be able to, you can see it's kind of chewed there, both of them. Everything's still shifting fine, but I'm going to have to probably relocate those cables a little bit. But in case you guys were wondering what this thing looks like without that manifold on there, that is the front of the V8 motor. So you can see all the accessories basically are down below, which can't be seen or worked on from up top at all. You might be able to get to like the AC bracket a little bit, but even still, it's easier to get to those bolts from down below because you're doing all the other work from down there. So lots of fun working on this thing. As you can see, I've actually just pulled the passenger seat out because it's easier to work on that way, because otherwise there's just not any room to get to anything. So that's kind of what's been going on with the car. Otherwise, it's been running perfectly ever since I've done the updated wiring harness, or put a non-hacked wiring harness in there. Everything's been doing really well. Fans work properly. No, well, at least the high-speed fan. I think I've just got a standard issue with the low-speed fan. I don't know if there's a bad resistor or something, but can't really check it out too much because I'm not really working at a shop anymore. That's part of the reason why I have more free time on my hands lately, which has been good and bad. It's not been the worst thing that's ever happened to me. It's been great, actually. I've been able to spend more time with my parents and get a lot of stuff done around my house, which has been fabulous. But at the same time, I also have, got to make money somehow, and believe it or not, I've made a little bit of money in Bitcoin and stuff like that. I'm screwing with that damn light. I don't know why. Anyway, yeah, with Bitcoin. So I don't know if you guys are familiar at all with it, but I'm going to start doing a little bit more information on that. Like I said, I'm going to change up my channel a little bit, and I will actually start posting probably a little bit more on something called Steemit, which is another social media type platform that is interesting, and it's driven with cryptocurrencies and things like that. So if you guys are interested in learning more about that, and interested in how I can make money off of it, or how you can make money off of it, obviously I'm no financial advisor or anything, but it's an interesting way to play around, and it's a lot more intricate than people think. People are like, oh, it's just like funny money, right? And I mean, anybody who knocks it just really is probably not educated on it. So I'm going to, like I said, do another part of this video with just got more information on that. If you guys are interested, check that out. If you got any questions about the car, let me know. I think that's pretty much about it. About the only other thing that's been going on, I have got these carbon ceramic brakes. They're just more or less core condition. There's a couple of them are chewed up pretty bad, but I was interested in trying to see if I could make those fit on here, just to make the car a little bit more unique and different, and not have to run like race brakes on the thing. I'm sure I could run a less aggressive brake. I mean, you can see how badly the brakes chew into them, and those are probably less than 5,000 miles on those brakes, and those pads are just super aggressive. So once they start to get a little bit warm, but not really warm, they squeak pretty badly, which is the whole reason I was looking into the carbon ceramic stuff. But if anybody's got a line on any 996 carbon ceramic calipers, I'd be interested in those, just to see if I can make it all work, or if anybody knows if you can get that set up to work on here and save me a lot of time and effort, let me know. It's not something I'm really actively pursuing, but it's interesting to me, and I think it would be nifty to have those big fat yellow calipers with those big carbon ceramics on this thing, rather than just the steel brakes. So if you got a line on that, let me know. About the only other thing I can think of that I had mentioned in my last video, I know a couple guys have responded with regards to doing budget builds, things like that, which I'm still interested in doing. It's definitely not off the plate, but like I kind of mentioned, I'm not really working at any shops anymore right now. So I don't have a lift in my garage here at the house. It's just the house. And I do have another place I could put a lift in, but that's not going to happen anytime real soon. So as far as a major project, it's probably not going to happen anytime very soon. I'd like to do the V8 budget build, but also everybody seems to have a different platform. Some people want to use just regular non-S cars. Some people want to use S cars. Guys, I'd really just recommend you going with an S chassis. I mean, you can buy all the S stuff and convert it over, but is it really worth it? I mean, you can pick up an S with a blown motor for like $3 or $4 grand, I'm sure, these days. Pretty nice cars, if not less. So, you know, just go that route. Don't really waste your time trying to get the non-S versions, because then you'll have all sorts of other issues with regards to axles and upgrading brakes, and I mean, I know all that stuff's out there, but it's just about, you know, I don't know. In my opinion, you're just a lot better off starting with the S chassis. So, again, that's my opinion, but you know, if we do a budget build, if I do a budget build, it'll be an S. I'm not going to bother doing a non-S version of it. So I may just end up going with a 911, because personally, I think for me, having already done the Boxster V8, a 911 would be a little bit more interesting. And obviously, a lot of people have done that already, so it wouldn't be that interesting. So I want to make it more interesting, and the only way I can think to do that is by doing one that I really like. And personally, I really like 997 twin turbo. Those are really good looking. The 996 is a great looking car, but a little bit tired and dated looking. 997 still good looking while becoming affordable. And so if anybody happens to know, preferably of a convertible, I'd do a coupe or a convertible. But I think the convertible, to me, having done the Boxster, would be just a little bit more interesting. I have really gotten used to having the open top of the Boxster. This is a great car, by the way. For any of you who are maybe just joining in for the first time, I'll do hopefully a video with this thing running next time. Get a little bit more exhaust noise. I know people have had a couple requests for that. I've got a couple messages about that sort of stuff, like, oh, do more exhaust videos and drive-bys. You know, I never got the video from my buddy when I did the half-mile drag race. That was a real good one with regards to some sound and just hearing this thing at wide open. But I'll see if I can get some video running around with it as well. So before I keep rambling on anymore, like I said, nothing else really to share. If you guys got any questions, comments, let me know. But check out part 2 if you're interested in Bitcoins and cryptocurrencies or anything like that, and we'll go from there. Thanks, guys.